Morning, actually. 3 whole minutes. Welcome to Sunday's Style Surgery, and here to answer all of your decorating questions. I was about to give you a weather report, but it's quite changeable. Yesterday was very nice, had a big family day, did a load of cooking, spent a lot of time in the garden, saw everyone, which was lovely, particularly my nieces and nephew. And then today, it's a little bit overcast. Hello, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Sunday Style Surgery. I've got one more weekend, and then the following weekend I'm between India, Delhi and Hong Kong on a plane. As I'm running to India and then running to Hong Kong. Hello from Barcelona. Daylight savings begin today. Good for you. Hello from London. Hello from Isha, Surrey. Hello from Darwin, Australia. No sound. I'm hoping that's just you that says no sound. Starting my shift now. Catch up later. Catch up later. Good morning from down under. Good evening down under. Good evening. Good evening. Hello from Ireland. Hello. Hello. Good morning from adult overcast. Yeah, it's MK. It's kind of like that here actually. There was a little bit of sun and now it's gone. Hi from Virginia, USA. Good morning from Glasgow. Everybody has sound. Okay, I won't start panicking about no sound. So I've had a bit of a busy morning because I am now, all the design classes for the whole year have finished. Finito! Hello from Yorkshire. So the top floor is in a transition of having a revamp. And I don't know if you ever get this, but I can't do one thing because it relates to the next thing, which relates to the next thing. And so there's this snowball effect of I can't start the bedroom because I've got to clear all of the junk room out and then turn that into a closet. And oh my God. Hello from New Jersey. Hello from Norway. Hello from Derbyshire. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So yeah, now the school has ended. The top floor where everybody sat is going back as a guest room. And then the second guest room is going potentially into a closet. And then my primary bedroom, we put kind of up a fake wall to put all the clothes behind, and I'm opening that up, getting a bit more space and having the fire back. So quick question facing bedroom colours, please. Me, earthy, warm, nurturing, soft. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for hemp, which we used to sell. I've actually found like 15 litres of the stuff. And so I'm going to paint my bedroom in that, which is quite a nice soft browny colour. Browns are very maturing, aren't they? Quite spa-like. So that's what I'm kind of going for. And I can't do that until I get stuff out of the junk room, and I can't get stuff out of the junk room until, anyway, it's just like this. There's going to be a schedule. Once we've finished this, there's literally going to be a schedule. Hello, so it's sunny in Suffolk. You're lucky if it's sunny in Suffolk. Colour-drenched dining room painted in black. I wanted to add a drongo, not electrified. Would it be better with the black one or a neutral one? Oh, you might want it to pop. So like a brownie one would be lovely, like the umber or the brownie pinky one, or even the cream one, will really make it stand out. Hello from Isle of Wight. Yep, hemp is what I think I'm doing. I have kitchen cabinets painted Farrenball downpipe, but there is too much blue coming through. A nice solid grey. I wouldn't go, you see, I used to have downpipe and changed it because it's quite a harsh colour in certain lights. Now, because you're seeing the blue coming through, you don't want to go grey because you've got cool on cool, you want to go warm. So I personally would go warmer. Now, I can't give you paint colours because our paint factory suddenly closed and we're not reintroducing paint colours until February, and I don't know what anybody else is doing in the paint market. Like, I don't look at their colours, but I would steer you into more of a sort of a soft toffee colour if you could with that downpipe, or a lovely hempy browny colour. I'm not sure I would go cool with cool, only because in the kitchen, which is quite austere because we don't have lots of softness, it could look a bit bleak. That's my only worry if you go cool with cool. So I would add a bit more of a warmer colour. Did I decide about the cork? Yes, it's cork. It's not grass cloth, it's now cork. And it was decided because of the hemp. So the hemp with the grass cloth looked too yellow, and I'm hoping the cork will work. It's taken like forever to come up with it. What are you doing, monkey? Forever to kind of come up with this scheme. but that's the kind of plan. So cork on the wall behind the bed, new bed, covered in like a velvet, hemp on the walls, and then a boucle hempy colour curtain with a black lining and black blinds. And then open fire, chair in front of the fire, I think. Struggling with shelf styling, what are the non-negotiables? I might show you, it might be easier. 2 different ways to style. Well, not 2 different ways, but literally, when you don't have a lot of room to put things in front of things, you kind of stack things on books. Books as part of your tablescape always works. And then clusters of 3, because 3 little groups of 3 are easier for the eye to get around. You always want something large. You always want to play with the height, and then you come down, and then you go up, and then you go up, and then you come down, and then you go up. So that is one example of styling. And then if we walk into my kitchen, where I have a super long shelf, so all nuts and seeds, different heights. Can you see different heights with all the trays? Then tumbling botanicals, and then different heights, things in front of things. So it just makes it feel, I feel like I've done some weird, I've clicked a button and it's like I've got this weird sort of cinematic thing on my Instagram feed. Like I'm just seeing lots of these flaring white lines. I don't really understand. You have a lovely black chair in your garden, you sell it? No, prototype, and it's covered in waterproof paper, but we can't make the pricing work because it's coming out too expensive. You have it strange. I know, I've done something. I've done something to my Instagram. It's like it's got crackly white over it. It's really weird, isn't it? Do you see? I pressed something accidentally. Is it this thing? No?
You sure you haven't got a dirty
Oh, maybe,
dirty
is
camera?
that better? No, I did something. That might be better. A fire in the bedroom. Yeah, I agree. I think I might have sorted it. I'm hoping I have. Good morning. It's a filter on your live. Yeah, I think I might have sorted it. Not sure about the film filter. I know, I didn't mean to do it. I really didn't. I was just pressing things. The filter are at the bottom. Yeah, I think I've sorted it. Tell me if I've sorted it, but I think I have. Yeah, better. Okay, cool. I've just removed it, honestly. It's because I didn't have the best night last night. And my brain is not in my brain gear. Fixed it. God, honestly. Me and tech. Absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. Can't bear it. Always get it wrong. Anyway, so I think that is the bedroom sorted, but the room at the back, at the top of the house, overlooking the garden, which you never see, because it's kind of with the school here, everything just gets chucked into it, and it's like this awful junk room. I'm going to be really rigorous now. The prototypes they sell stay in my house because I love them. Never going to sell them. Yeah, sometimes. Also, you know, it's so fickle, this retail business, because you get a price and then containers massively shoot up, like by 3 times more than you imagined. So that puts the MPX up, which is the margin. That puts the margin up. So the margin that you think you were going to sell it is suddenly trebled and you can no longer sell it at that price. And then it just doesn't make any sense to sell it. So keep it. India, oh gosh, we're all on autumn winter 25 collections now. And then we go from India to China. So it's a long old haul this next trip. Yeah, I've just come back from China. Shanghai, and now I'm back. Yeah, I'm trying not to think about it because it's a really long haul, this one. Shanghai was 3 days and now this is like 9 days. So a couple of days in India, then straight to China because it's crazy. So much has to go in. Finally painted our low cottage ceiling in French grey, same colour as the walls, apart from the brick wall painted in pickle. It's an absolute game changer. I know it's a game changer. It's such a game changer. It really is. It really is a game changer. My sister is a partner in the biz, my middle sister. My younger sister has an incredible job, working for a publishing house, very high up. My brother-in-laws are graphic designers and authors / teachers. My mother used to be an artist. My aunt's very much into interior design, so yes, I suppose you could say it is quite a creative family. I really want one of those chairs. I know, I really want it to work, but you know, 2 of them would cost well over 1,000, and they're not the most comfortable chairs, and they're quite low, and they're waterproof and they're great to have outside, but I just think in the grand scheme of things, they're not going to sell. And I have to be, you know, in the old days, I was a lot more cavalier. Let's just do it. But now gosh, probably within the last 10 years, 8 years, have become really regimented on affordability and thinking if it's going to sell or not going to sell. And obviously I never know if it's going to sell. It's always a gamble. You never know, but you have to kind of trust your intuition. And so I have a small hoard of Madison Grey emulsion eggshell. I'm panicking about the day I run out. I know, me too. I've also got a small hoard, and all of this is Madison Grey behind me. Loving that window, thank you. Talking about your beautiful garden, how do you feel about this time of year with all the falling leaves? Have a very mature garden, the falling leaves driving monks. Oh, I love falling leaves. I love vacuuming the garden. I don't have many trees that fall. I mean, so because I've got this double height window, this garden pretty much looks like this all year round, because I can't look out on barren miserableness. So a lot of the trees don't lose their leaves. Only some lose their leaves. And yes, there's a lot of leaves, but I love leaves blowing, leaves smelling, autumn leaves. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yes, Graham has 2 sisters. He is the youngest. Nursery school teacher is the middle sister, and a nurse is the older sister. What was I saying? So yeah, leaf blowing and autumn, nice. How do you define the difference between styling with layers and things looking cluttered? You can easily define the difference by listening to your intuition. If you go into a room and everything looks like a hot mess and it feels really cluttered and it doesn't read right, strip it back and start again. So for me, immediately no. Like, might do too much and it just feels like, oh my God, it's chaotic, it's too messy. I need serene and beautiful, so I pull back. So you just have to just listen. Like, how do you feel looking at a shelf? Does it look messy and cluttered and just too much? Or does it make you feel like you want to look at that shelf even longer and be in that room even longer? Hello from Canada. So it's all about trusting your intuition and really figuring out about how you feel. So I tell this to my design classes all the time. Every single room in this house, also true of my store, is all designed around an emotion, not a vibe. It's all designed around an emotion / a feeling. It's never designed around a theme. I never go, I really like glamorous, let's do glamorous. Or I really like boho, let's do boho. I never ever think about that. Always, always, always design around an emotion. So I go into a room and go, how do I want to feel in this room? Well, in this room, I want to feel like I'm wrapped in the most enormous hug. I've been covered in the cashmere blanket and it makes me feel cocooning and grounding and like I never want to leave. And then I'll work out all the materials and colours that will make me do that. So I never ever design a room around a theme, always an emotion. Hello from Germany. I don't know why Monkey is just sitting under me looking at me. It seems like... what's the matter? As a creative, how have you felt about being a CEO? Very different skills. Just interested to know, have you tackled these different skills? I don't find it easy. I really don't. It's probably the most challenging part of my job because obviously for me, being on the creative side, that comes quite naturally. Being on the business side and literally having to manage the cash flowing, the amount of products that literally go in, what we're divvying up for wholesale, what we're doing up for retail. I mean, it's literally the percentage of third party that we might buy in as opposed to AA own label that we might buy in. It really is incredibly marketing budgets. I mean, we could just go on and on and on. It's literally one of the most challenging parts of my job. It keeps me on my toes, I have to say. And I always feel like I'm learning, like I'm constantly learning. Sorry to mention the C word, but can't wait to see your Christmas styling. My Christmas styling will probably really disappoint you because we have to deal with Christmas so much in retail. By the time I come to my own house, there's hardly anything here because I'm done with Christmas. So I'll show you in some vids, some tips and tricks, but I don't Christmas up this house at all. I mean, I might have a tree. I'm trying to think what else I have. And the odd thing. But I don't really have tons, I guess because we're always shooting Christmas. So we've shot Christmas, we're shooting Christmas next week, then I go to India and China, and then I come back and then we're shooting Christmas. Like, it's just like never ending Christmas. So the only month that we don't talk about Christmas is January, which is really odd, which is really nice. It's like, gosh, we don't have to think about Christmas, talk about Christmas. Have a whole month off, because remember, when we put products into production, they all have to go in February. So really, and because we're so much in advance, obviously, in retail. So there's only 1 month of the year where the C word is not mentioned, which is why here I just don't have it everywhere. Did you put the massive window in? No, the house stopped where this red sofa ended. So you see the red sofa here? All of that was a brick wall. And then we extended and put the window in. So yeah, I used to work in America and live by the Great Lakes. I worked for a couple of architects, and they built all these glass houses overlooking the lakes, and it was a very much indoor outdoor. And the minute I came back to America, I spent a year every Saturday. We looked at between 10 and 12 houses all over London. I didn't really mind where I lived in London. I just knew that I wanted to take out the back wall and extend. And so yeah, the house literally stopped at where that red sofa is, and then all of that is an addition. And that was really key for this house, and it took a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of Christmas. It is a lot. And also we're wholesaling, right? And now we're wholesaling to America, where holiday is like even more key. So bizarrely enough, I'm in India and China developing Christmas 2025. So I never stop thinking about, like, I'm constantly thinking about Christmas. And everybody outside, like neighbors, like, oh, you must be so excited it's Christmas. And I'm like, no, I'm just done with Christmas. Like, it's mad. But I will tell you, because I thought I have to get it out, if you want to get into the Christmas spirit, and I do this every year, normally when the clocks have changed, where does it begin? Normally where the clocks have changed. 100 Essential Recipes for Midwinter. I get this book out every year. I talk about it a lot. It's by Nigel Slater, and it's called The Christmas Chronicles, and it's so lovely. And it starts on 5th of November. Oh yeah, 1st of November, I think. So we all have to begin it on the 1st of November. And then every day, I think there's a little, it's so good. It's such an amazing book. I love this book. Hosting, yes, I am hosting. Was any of the planting in the garden there? No, everything gone. One lilac tree, which is 100 years old, took every single thing out and planted everything, like 14 trees, everything. Nothing was in this house. I mean, it wasn't in a good way. It is critical. Yes, the window is critical. Any sneak peeks of Christmas? No, I can't bear to have any Christmas here. It's all in the warehouse or the store. Otherwise, you know, this house is really, like, we have to live here, and it's really hard when you shoot a lot of content, because I feel like I have to somehow have this bridge. Otherwise, I'm always in my work head, which is why I don't really want much of it here. And I love it, but it's too early for me to get it out, right? So it will always be in the warehouse or the store. It will come here, we'll shoot it, and then it will go back to the warehouse and the store. Although we are Christmasing up the store this week, towards the end of the week, which will go first. And there's some really beautiful things there. I can imagine it's almost like you're excited for next year's Christmas. It's kind of weird, yeah, it kind of is. And it's weird because the time you sort of go into production with Christmas for 25, you haven't really analysed 24. So you aren't really seeing the sales because you're having to go in with development way before, and you just have to hope. Not hope, but you know, you have to kind of trust your gut. So you can't ever work on the sales, you know, like we can't suddenly development in January because the sampling takes so long and then we'll miss the whole thing. Do you go mad Christmas present buying? Quite minimal, to be honest. I guess because I'm in retail, right, where I was always buying and always developing. So everything is quite, yeah. I probably sound like a real killjoy, don't I? I used to work in retail and totally agree at keeping your home simple. Honestly, that's it. Wreaths, tree, fairy lights, some beautiful tea lights, beautiful wreaths, some scent. We're doing the kitchen in terracotta and burgundy, have warm metal and mostly unlike a brass debating use of the same or old bronze for like fixtures, balls. I would try and tie it in if I was you, in a way, and not have too many mixtures. You can, but I would potentially not have too many mixtures. Morning, Abigail, did you mention on another live you will bring out a new sofa? Yes, I did, but we can't talk about it yet. Yes, I am, but we can't talk about it yet. January, I think it launches. Is it hard to stop people copying your designs? You know, someone very famous said to me, copying is the highest form of flattery, and people have copied me for 20 years. And do I care? Nope. If they want to copy me, copy me. If they love their designs and they love the space they're in, carry on copying. Will there be any wreaths available on the UK site this year? You mentioned only one wreath has gone in the US, which is the massive wreath. All the other wreaths are coming to the UK. We stupidly sent, because all of this whole US thing is so new to us, when production finishes at factory, obviously containers go left or right to the UK or America, and this one particular container containing all the big wreaths should have deviated to the UK and it went all to America, so all the Americans got it, but all the other wreaths, yes, are coming in, and they're landing really soon. And really lovely Christmas trees this year, like faux ones, but ones that aren't massive, that you can put on kitchen counters and coffee tables and look really beautiful. How do I fill a bedroom in a deep terracotta colour? As long as it's not too terracotta-y, for me, so quite deep and dark. The wreath you demonstrated making last Christmas actually made, and it's still on the wall. How fabulous. You all right, monkey? Yes, so we're doing these incredible smaller wreaths this year. Very beautiful. They're like a conifer and an olive wreath and a uke, and they're really easy to embellish with our faux, and that's a really good point. I will make a point of showing you how to do that, actually, to literally embellish them, because they last. You know, it's a great thing about faux, isn't it? They last year round, and they're super textural. So I think I'm a big fan of having wreaths. I mean, I know the Americans have always been a big fan of having wreaths indoors on walls as well as outdoors, but I'm also of that opinion that it just looks super beautiful. Super, super beautiful. So, can we see Monkey? Oh yeah, here he is. He's pacing because... Monkey! Monkey! There he is. Monkey! There's Monkey. Last week, we had a really terrible weekend with him. Like, he woke at 3 o'clock on the design class day, and then the following night he was up in the night just walking around in circles, and someone thought that said he could potentially have dementia, but then took him to the vet, and the vet's like, you don't get dementia just in the evening, in the small hours. So it actually turns out to be his skin allergy had really flared up and was really annoying him. Which retailer? I don't know, because there's so many small independents. Crate and Barrel sell our flowers in Flatiron in New York. They're a huge one. But then there's so many small independents that sell our faux. At some point we will. And also, you know, we're not selling the whole collection. And the reason I'm reluctant to put it up on our retail site is because stores in America, same as the UK, that buy from us on a wholesale level don't buy the whole collection. So it's no good me saying go to blah 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 in Florida because they might only have 3 things, or someone else might have 4 things, and we just can't keep up with obviously how much they're taking. Whether they're taking 3 things, 4 things, it's impossible, right? So I can't really tell you, other than there's about 400 stores at the moment. He is adorable. He is adorable. I know, it's skin. So he had his injection, and he has a skin allergy. He's had a skin allergy for ages, but it was this manic circling thing which got me really in a state. And it just went on from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. and you couldn't even restrain him. Anyway, what recipes have you planned for the week? Oh gosh, I did a big recipe thing yesterday. And I've got lots of leftovers. So I did a butternut mash, which was really yum. You start off by caramelizing some garlic in some olive oil with some thyme sprigs, and then you put the butternut in, and then you puree it all up and make a roasted pepper dressing to go on it. I did an amazing roasted cauliflower salad with pistachios and pomegranate and tarragon and herbs and a really herby thing. I did a roasted broccoli dish where you stir in sun-dried tomatoes and harissa, and that was really, really beautiful. I did roasted chicken, which Malibu Farm is a Malibu Farm recipe, and it's the best way of ever roasting a chicken. You do nothing to it. You just leave it uncovered, you salt it and leave it uncovered in the fridge for 6 hours. Then you take it out and bring it to room temperature. And then you have the oven on, it's quite high, I think. Is it 220 the oven?
230.
230 the oven, and then you do the 20-20-20 rule, 20 breast up, 20 breast down, 20 breast up, no oil, nothing, and it's the crispiest thing ever. CBD is fantastic for calming the nervous system, sounds so yummy. In the US, I buy from you often. Can I buy your items here? I would save on delivery. No, you can't buy any furniture for us. It's only mostly botanicals and accessories, I'm afraid. We're looking to clad our house. Do you have any suggestions or recommendations? Have a look at millboard or toasted, both of which are really lovely. Who is the blah, blah, blah in Florida? I don't know. I just gave you an example of Florida. There is Graham. I think he's getting a bit nervy. Do you mind just feeding him? Sorry. There's 400 to 500 stores all over the States, but we can't list them, as I just said, because some people are just taking mushrooms, some people are just taking, let's say, hydrangea, and so it won't really help you me saying go to here, go to here, to go to here. We haven't got the resources or the team to keep up with what everybody buys at wholesale. And also, you know, they add, they delete, so it's just like a bottomless kind of pit. There isn't one store that does, I'm afraid, which I know might be a bit annoying, but there just isn't. Is there one particular recipe book you would recommend? Can you please let me know so I can purchase? Gosh, I cook from so many. Flavor, I'm cooking from at the moment. Donna Hay. Riverford have amazing recipes. I cook a really yummy roasted carrot red lentil curry. So have a look at Riverford. They have lovely recipes on there, which are always super seasonal. I did a lovely yesterday as an appetizer, a roasted butternut squash, curried butternut squash with coconut cream. That was really lovely. When they sell your products, do they have to say your brand label on them so I can see? Some do, some don't. It really depends. Some people want to say it's from us. Some people, because they're, like when I was in Atlanta, this one lady who bought from us said that she's pulling all our labels off because of all the competitors in her town. She doesn't want them to know about us. So she's pulled them all off. So it really depends on the retailer, which is what I mean. We just can't, you know, we just can't. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. You can, however, Food 52, which is an amazing American website, has started taking some of our faux and some of our lighting. And soon we're going to be developing more for them. So you can buy some of our things on Food 52, just put in my name. When they sell your products, do they say your brand? Right, answered. Have you managed to get G in the kitchen recently or not at all? No, he's not very fond of the kitchen. I mean, doesn't mind helping. Actually does mind. Not really that fond of the kitchen.
Me?
Being in it.
It's cramps my style.
Okay. Yeah, not that fond of it, I have to say. It would be nice to have a little bit more help. But, yeah, quite good at stacking dishes at the end. I think it's funny, isn't it, if you just work out, like, for me, I don't mind cooking, but then if I've got to clean away, I need, like, help. Any good music recommendations for cozy nights in Toronto? Oh, nice. Yes, go to our website, go to the top banner. I don't know where my computer is, and it says like AA Autumn Inspiration or something on the top banner at the very top. Click on it and page down, and it goes into AA Sounds, and there's a recent playlist which is super cool. So it's right at the top banner. Are you content with not buying Decor for your home? Do you still get the urge to buy? No, because I don't buy anything from anyone else anymore, because we produce so much. So I never have to worry. And if I'm tired of something, it changes rooms. Or, for example, like upstairs, we're taking out one of the bedrooms, so It's a bed that's never been slept in because it's a guest room that's now going to my parents. So, yeah, I never have to really think about buying things from anybody else. Emptying the dishwasher, yes, it's a good one. Emptying the rubbish, that's a really good one. It's a really good one, actually. So, yes, I suppose it's just like working out what's good and what. And also, you know, Graham doesn't like or enjoy cooking, and I know it sounds a bit mean, but I think if someone doesn't like cooking, what's the point of making them cook? Like, you can always just taste it doesn't taste that nice. So I'd rather just do it myself. What would you also put on a very small side table on the turn of a stair, a mushroom lamp, on a few books? Would you go small vase with height or trailing plant? Would I go small? Yeah, I'd probably go trailing, I think. Vintage, I don't need any vintage. My house has got so many things in it, vintage pieces included, so I don't need to look for vintage. I'm really lucky. Like, I don't need to replace anything. Like, I'm not looking to replace anything with anything. Like, this, I love. I don't want to replace a vintage mirror with that vintage mirror, or that vintage lamp with that vintage lamp. I just love it as it is. Good at feeding the doggies and good at dog walking. What's the most beautiful house you've ever walked into? It's not actually a house. It's a hotel. And it's the feeling of this hotel, which was Lily of the Valley in the south of France. And it was the one hotel that I just, like, so, you know, the Soho houses, they do it really well. With Lily of the Valley, you instantly felt in a magical place. And it was that magical, that feeling, like all the senses were tantalized. You wanted to stay there forever. You never wanted to leave. Inside, outside, food-wise, everything, interiors-wise. Can you suggest any ways to make my bland utility room look more bearable? I might do more ironing then. Well, you could first consider what colour is on your walls. Is it a colour that you want to stay in there? Because remember, the colour that you put on your walls is literally going to dictate how you feel in a room. So is it a colour that makes you want to linger longer? And if it isn't, think maybe earthy and warm, because that could be really lovely. And then if you could put something on your walls, like wall baskets, a bit of art, that would be really lovely. A lovely scent would be amazing. Santa Maria Novella is amazing. All of which will, you know, kind of really work. Did you like Melbourne? I did like Melbourne. Do you want to be an interior designer? No, I was an interior designer for 15 years. I don't wish to go back to be one. I left it about 10 years ago. Yeah. So, no. Do I want to go back to be an interior designer? No, thank you. Did that, got the t-shirt, and no longer want any clients. Thank you very much. Retail and wholesale fully occupy my life in all sorts of challenging ways, and the thought of having more challenges, no. Back to your kind of laundry room. I mean, it sounds really silly, but can you see all this light behind me? Like when you have like little pockets of glow, it just feels so cozy. So cozying it up with the odd table lamp will also completely help you out and make such a difference. It really will. And it sounds a bit odd, but colour and lighting are the two most transformative things that you can literally do to any room. And I think particularly and this side of the world, right, we're transitioning into the cooler temperatures. Then it's really important to kind of think about lighting and colour. What do I think about Neptune and Pinch? I'm sure they're fabulous. I know it sounds really weird, but I never, ever have time to look at what anybody else is doing. I just don't. I kind of don't want it to influence what I'm thinking, so I don't look at what they're doing. I really am in my own weird world, which is fully encompassed. So it sounds really weird, but I don't know what John Lewis is doing, I don't know what Neptune's doing, I don't know what Ochre's doing, I don't know what Jonathan Adler's doing. It's not in my consciousness to kind of look to see what they're doing. Because I think we have so many ideas and so many things that we want to do, I never really think about what anyone else is doing. What TV shows are you watching when you get a minute? Slow Horses. Love Slow Horses. Gary Oldman plays the grimiest character on the planet. So grimy, greasy, grimy. Ugh! But it's such a good show. It's such a good show. Oh, and I just finished watching the Nicole Kidman, The Perfect Couple. Just finished watching that. Now on to Slow Horses. Just painted my kitchen walls charcoal with pickle colour cabinets below. How can I create the shelves? Also keep them practical for storage of plates, bowls. Well, quite easy. Can't wait to pop to your shop. Also Le Labo and Cubits. I know. Really nice. Little area is Islington. So this is what I do with my plates. I'm really stiff today. I think I've done something to my back. So I stack all my nuts and seeds like this, bowls like this, bowls like this, plates like this. See? All literally stacked like that. All accessible, all stacked. And that kind of really works for me. Great suggestions. Right, hold on, let me just sit down. Monkey is just following me. Monkey, you're following me and you've been fed. What are you doing? Your garden, how is your ground cover plant getting on? If it's successful, I was going to use it in my garden. Can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what it's called either. Some have died and some not, so I've bought a lot more ferns. Great suggestions. I'll incorporate these into Love Star. Oh no, I've done that thing again. Okay. Jesus. Love Slow Horses. Love Slow Horses. He's so grimy. I am not watching. I need to watch season 4 when it's all finished, not 1 week by 1 week. So I am re-watching season 1. He's so grimy, Gary Oldman. He's so good. I know The Perfect Couple wasn't as good as I hoped either. I know. I agree. I totally agree. Didn't think that much of The Perfect Couple. I've just finished watching Maid. Oh, really good. Don't know about Maid. It's very nice having TV suggestions. No, I didn't like. I liked the location. And I liked Nicole Kidman. But I agree. I didn't think it was that good either. I thought it was kind of a bit drawn out and not that good. But I kind of liked the location. And it was an easy watch. Slow Horses is a lot... yeah, it's kind of these MI5 misfits. I won't say anything. But yeah, you kind of look at Gary Oldman and you're like, his mac is greasy and he's eating all this food that's a bit nasty and he's just really good. He lives in Palm Springs, actually, where I went not so long ago. Any thoughts on your book about your lifestyle? Any thoughts on a book about your life? I don't think anyone would buy it, honestly, Judy. I don't think anyone would be interested in buying a book about my lifestyle, health, etc. What colour type of frames would you use for various... What colour type of frame would you use for various interiors? Always warm, earthy. Always. Always all warm, earthy. I'm going to New York for the first time at the end of November. What's the one place you'd recommend going to? I've done a whole thing on the grid. If you go into the circles on my grid, I've done a whole New York itinerary. From start of the day to finish of the day. Start of the day to finish of the day. It's impossible to tell you one thing. It's impossible. So have a look at that and you'll literally see and you're like, oh, I might want to do that. Or I might want to go to a really cool bar, a really cool restaurant. Or I might want to walk over Brooklyn Bridge. I might want to go to a flea market. So have a look. It's a very nice time of year to go. I'm going in January. And there's tons to do in New York. I'd love to buy a house in Palm Springs. Yeah, I love Palm Springs. I didn't initially like Palm Springs, I have to say. It grew under my skin. At first impression, I was like, really? What's all the fuss about? But it kind of grew on me. And the forest was another level. Like I was Googling, how do I move to Palm Springs? You know, when you go somewhere and you're like, I so want to... Anyway, you've totally transformed yourself this past couple of years. You are glowing. Yes, we would buy the AA Lifestyle book. Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you. I don't think... There'll be about 3 people buying the AA Lifestyle book, I think. 3 people. Not many people. I think because... it's funny, isn't it? Because I'll come back to that. I love movies that have great houses and interiors. Me too. Oh, my word. I've just Googled Slow Horses. What a greaseball. He's such a greaseball. He's such a greaseball. Everything about him and all the people around him. And Kristen Thomas is in it. And she always looks down her nose at him because he's always like greasy. He's a greaseball. It's all a bit, but it's a very good storyline. It's a good storyline. I just need season 4 to finish and then I can watch a few more because I can't do 1 week. You know, like Netflix has kind of spoiled us for all of that. Well, it did, and then now you have to do one, and I just can't do 1 week. I need to do like 2, and then a little break, and then 2, and then a little break, and then 2, and a little break. So, yeah, so that's kind of what I'm watching. A little bit of Strictly, although I'm kind of a bit bored of Strictly these days, I have to say. Lifestyle book, yes, very sweet, thank you. I just don't think there's a market for it, in my humble opinion. Oh, what, Graham? I don't know where Graham's gone. So we had a bit. What house books have you bought recently? Oh, I think I did this last week. I bought 1,000 Feasts by Nigel Slater, which I've just sort of begun. I bought Nordic Winter, because we're doing a lot of Christmas shooting, and I really like the photography and some of the recipes. And then Monocle, which I really need to finish reading, which I'm about to subscribe to, because it just gives you so much info. But I don't really have a lot of time for reading, I have to say. I think Strictly has had its day, like a lot of those programs. I know. Yeah, we're getting a lot more of the pashes in. So are we getting any more rugs? All the pashes are coming back in. Have you watched Ludwig? I haven't. Monkey, do you need some water? I'm just running to give Monkey some water, sorry. Do you need water? Here you are. This way. Here you are. Coming. There you go. Oh. Okay. Right, sorry. Monkey has organic bottled water because he has various health issues. So, I think Strictly has had its day. I know. I have a large grey concrete-looking tiles which I dislike. What colour would you paint with them? Toffee, caramel, warm. Strictly has jumped the shark. It does seem very long. The Nordic Stuck bar is by someone called Viola Minerva Vitamo. So Viola Minerva, Minerva, and then new word, Virtamo. Do you sell paint? No. Our factory stopped selling paint all of a sudden because it got bought out by Dulux and they shut it down, and so all paint coming with another factory in February. Ludwig is very good. Okay, that's not my glasses. These are my new glasses. Crunkshaw by Cubits. Aren't they nice? I'm not sure anyone else, but I'm interested in knowing more about your fashion and where you purchase. Honey! Look, thank you. That's very kind of you. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to weave more into the feed. So it's a little bit lifestyle-y, it's a little bit foodie, it's a little bit fashion-y. Ludwig is excellent, 6 EPs, all on iPlayer, so you don't have to wait. If you like David Mitchell and Anna Maxwell Martin. Oh, how exciting. I haven't even heard of that. Do you take collagen? If so, where from? I do, and it's Osso, O-S-S-O. Do you have bedding plants? No, I hate bedding plants. Sorry. I don't like bedding plants at all. I just don't like them. So it doesn't really go with the vibe of my garden, I have to say. So no, I don't plant any. And our gardeners who come and do a garden tidy once a month are like, okay, what bedding plants? I'm like, none. Hello from Paris. Are you looking for a designer and illustrator? No, sorry. All of that is done in-house. Have all of that sorted. So no, we're all good on that front. Mungo is running around. Graham has disappeared. We had a bit of a domestic this morning because we're taking the wardrobes out. So I'd already cleared out my wardrobe, and then I wanted to go into his wardrobe. And my God, like 4 pairs of jeans unopened. Graham won't buy clothes, hates clothes, can't bear buying clothes. He literally wants to wear the same jumper, same t-shirt, and same pair of jeans every day. Really hates buying clothes. And so he, like the other day, I'm like, we really need to go through your wardrobe, because if it's going into an open closet, we need to worry about, what's in your wardrobe. My God. So we're taking to the charity shop so many clothes today. Same, I hate bedding plants that our gardener wanted. I know, they always want to. Do you ship furniture to Australia? We can, but I really wouldn't advise you going down that route with us because it's so expensive and it's just, there's not a cheap way that we can do it. And we sell stuff to the Australian market and we don't mark up our courier fees at all, anywhere in the UK, America, anywhere. But it's so expensive. G sounds exactly like my husband, really. Would you post different range of colour to inspire us? Different range of colour, I'm not quite sure what you mean. Our new paint colours, I think there's 36, there's a lot more, are in the process of being mixed up, and they're a mixture between mid and dark, earthy and soft. So they're very beautiful, but obviously, you know, when you partner with a new factory, it takes a bit of time, which is why there's kind of like this 6-month lag between when we can start selling and not. But the great news is that it's a really incredible brand, and they have a facility and a warehouse in America. So paint can now come from the American warehouse, which would be amazing. And not just the UK, because that's the hard thing when you're kind of shipping over. No, the old colours will not be in the range because the Craig and Rose factory won't give us the ingredients. So the less I say about that, the better. But no, they won't. And they won't even be that similar. Would you put stuff out onto the street for anyone to take after that person was fined? What person was fined? I didn't even really hear about this. Do I often take stuff out on the street? Not really, but I don't know who was fined. Did someone just pile a whole load of stuff out on their street from their house? Don't know anything about that. What have I put out on the street? Sometimes the odd chair. Hardly anything really. I mean, I'm really lucky because I have a store that I can put things into and a family that I can give things to. I think the washing machine is really making a noise. Do you need to prime wall before using your AA paint, or is it incorporated? No, it's not incorporated. I never bother priming, you can. But, I mean, it depends if you're going from a light to a dark. So if you're going from a light colour to a dark colour, rather than waste expensive paint, it's better to just go buy a primer, and then that can sup it up and soak it up. The person was fined for leaving a piece of furniture out and got done for fly tipping. Oh, I didn't hear about that. About leaving stuff outside houses. Someone got fined. Interesting. Monkey, you can't go upstairs with Dad. Mungo can't walk upstairs anymore, and he keeps looking like this upstairs. Don't think you need to worry about stuff on the street hanging around for long. Just creating a new website for a client. Notice my palette is very close to your old colour pickle and deep olive. Wonder if you influenced that subconsciously sumptuous. Yeah, they're very similar. I mean, I think I just have this obsession with quite warm, earthy hues. So that kind of really works for me because I feel that they make you feel very cocooned. And there is someone knocking on our door. Do you know the other day, we've got this fig tree in our front garden, and somebody came into the front garden and started picking the figs and standing on all my plants. So I put my head out and I'm like, excuse me, you just can't do that. I don't mind if you knock and then I can just tell you where to walk, but literally treading over my plants to pick my figs. Do you not think that's rude? I just can't imagine anyone doing that, coming up someone's path into their front garden, picking their figs. I mean, it's so bad. Can you suggest a light colour for my hall? Is extremely dark. My lounge is baked clay. Have a look at Flower and Bull. I'm not sure exactly what colours they do, but they'll do beautiful ones. You're lucky you don't have people coming and peeing. That would really do me in if I did. So rude. I know, it's so rude. I mean, I wouldn't even mind if you'd knocked, but just literally flattening planting. It's just really weird. I mean, we often get people like walking up the path and just staring in as if we're like objects in a weird film. They're like, and I sometimes think that's a bit rude. It's worse, kind of, I guess it's worse in the winter because I don't really shut the shutters. Although we've got this hedge, so anyway, it's just a bit weird. What was their reaction? That was such a rude thing to do. They're just like, oh, okay, all right. I just didn't really think. I mean, it's just, yeah, they didn't really think. It's just, I don't know. It's happened a few times. It's happened quite a few times, not more than 5 over sort of like 6 years, but yeah. I thought it was rude. I'd love to paint my walls a dark colour, but my curtains are light cream. Do you think I need to have dark curtains? You actually don't, because you can use your curtains being the light cream as a focal, right? So you then need to introduce some lighter accessories, and then it will feel incredibly balanced. Incredibly balanced. What are the colours to use in 2025? That's the worst question you could possibly ask me. And I know you won't realise that, but I don't care what colours are hot for 2025. Colours should never be in fashion or out of fashion. Do never ever go, what are the colours for 2025, and use them. Ignore all of that mumbo jumbo. Colours are literally something that you're applying to your walls that you want to live with for a very long time. So never ever 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 think about what colours are good for 2025. We don't care about colour of the year. We don't care if it's hot or not. We just care about choosing a colour. This colour has been on my walls for 10 years. It's not going anywhere. Like, I don't care if it's in or out. I don't care. So never ask yourself that. Sure, it wasn't the same woman who was rifling through your wardrobes. I know. My new neighbour who I share path with lets his dog poo on it and doesn't clean it up. Oh, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. I don't even know how to advise you, but that's terrible. We used to get the postman walk across my front room. I had to ask him to stop. Really? Oh my God. Still loving the yucca up. Yeah, I love the yucca up. No, I've never had that. I've never had anyone peeing. I know there's lots of problems with carnivals. There's a Hackney carnival, but luckily we're not on the route. And I know some friends who are on the route says it's terrible. They have to literally board up their front garden so people can't get in. I mean, oh my God, it's so terrible. Colour is personal. I read about the person who is fined for fly tripping. I don't think they could do that if it's on your property. I've left the odd thing out in the drive and it's gone in minutes. Okay, wish I hadn't asked. I just don't think you should. I don't think you should be swayed by colour of... Because this is what I want to say more than anything else, right? If you're going to go with what's hot for 25, what happens when it's 26 or 27? That's why I just feel that all of this kind of marketing around colour of the year thing is a whole load of nonsense. And we shouldn't be too worried about it, because we don't want to be changing the colours in our rooms that often. The best thing I can advise you to do is work out if you're on the warm side or the cool side of the colour wheel. Do you gravitate towards colours that are warm, with pinks and browns and burnt oranges in them, and just a very soft and you know, really beautiful? Or do you gravitate towards colours on the cooler side? And that's the biggest thing that you can ask yourself when you're working out your colours. I have a dark, narrow hallway, light colour enhanced the darkness, which felt depressing. I painted hallway dark forest green and it transformed the space. I have a dark and narrow hallway too, light colour enhanced the darkness, which felt depressing, so you painted it in a dark forest green. Oh, that sounds very nice. I painted Madison Grey in 2019. Me too. This has been up for 10 years. I mean, that's why I know, I get it, why everyone is like, oh, what's the colour of... I get asked all the time in the press, what's the colour of the year? And my answer is, I do not care. I don't know, and I don't even want to know. I don't care what's in, what's out. Like, interiors should not be trend related. I'm happy for people, myself included, to embrace a trend that they really love, but there's no point just going down a trend route because it's so transitional. Oh my God, invasion of one's privacy. I know, it's crazy. Dog owners like that, give us dog owners. I know. What do you do with white tiles in the bathroom? If you can't, I don't know if you can paint over them, because you can.
You can.
You can potentially paint over them, although we've never done it because we don't have white tiles. Or you can add lots of greenery to soften it. Just think, how can I actually soften it? I have a small bathroom. Do you think it would be better to keep it light or dark? Well, sounds counterintuitive, but it's really true. When you paint small rooms light colours, you're showing how small they are, because light colours advance. When you paint small colours in mid-tone to dark colours, they recede, retract, and so they look bigger. So that's the biggest thing. You just need to make sure that all window frames and ceiling go the same colours. I've had people fly tipping on our land regularly, nothing we can do about it. That's really awful. I also hate having the same colours as everyone else. I don't ever care about what anyone else is doing. Like if someone else has got Madison Grey, I don't really care. I think because, you know, I'm living here. The big thing is just work out where you sit on the colour wheel. We painted our lounge in one of your beautiful green tones, but can you help me please? I have 2 pieces of artwork, but they don't look right, just side by side on the wall. On the wall together. So just move one into another room. I do that with art all the time. If it's really not working, and even if it's supposed to be together, just take it to another space. Like we had this really bluey, very expensive painting from LA when we left America. It was a present for leaving America. And it just doesn't work at all. So now it's in the hallway. So if it doesn't work, just, you know, relocate it. To Chasing Trends, I'm 54. I remember painting a lime green lilac, which everyone worried about. A few years later, I couldn't wait to get rid of it. Now I paint colours I like. Exactly. Who decides on what is on trend anyway, and what do they know? I just decorate from my heart. Totally decorate from your heart. Totally the way to go. And that's with anything, really. It's whether, you know, it's even with fashion, even with food. This is in, this is out, this is in, this is out. It's with anything. So I would totally, sorry, I just thought there was works going up the stairs. Suddenly thought Mungo's going up the stairs. I'd totally follow your heart. Living in an MK village, we only tend to have Jehovah's Witnesses banging on the door and dogs go bonkers. It's quite hard with people knocking on the door and dogs going bonkers. I have that too. I'm in a rental, so can't paint the white walls. What can I do to mix up the colour? Or can you suspend rugs from the walls? Like, can you hang rugs on the walls? Can you buy a big canvas from Kaz Arts? Massive ones are like 80 quid and paint it one colour like a Rothko. Can you put wall baskets on your walls? Can you download something from unsplash.com where photographers have put all their work for free and you can take it to a printer and print it out for nothing and that would change the colour of your walls? You could put some... B&Q do incredible big panels of MDF, which you could just paper and plop that against the walls. There's so much you can do. So much you can do against the walls. Oh, really stiff now. To make it look really, really beautiful. I hope no one can hear that my stomach is literally like... I wallpaper MDF. Oh, amazing idea with the hanging rugs. Hanging rugs are beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, just go onto Pinterest and put hanging rugs on walls. They add so much texture, pattern. They don't have to be bright. They can just be... They add oodles and oodles of texture, as is MDF when you wallpaper it also, and just plonk it against your wall. Do your dog sleep downstairs? No, upstairs in the bed. Have you ever thought about putting rugs on walls? I've never thought about beautiful rugs on walls. Rugs on walls in hallways, beautiful. Just beautiful, because the texture that they add, right? It's just... And also, remember, the thing with rugs is... And I would always think when you're choosing a rug to go on a wall, it's not just a completely flat rug. So it's got a little bit of texture, or a lot, or it's got some kind of motif, and that will literally take it to another level. Of white tiles I can't currently remove and painted deep earthy green, made a difference with other... Oh, thank you, you painted your tiles and it worked. So you can totally paint your tiles. If you can do it, do it. Game changing, particularly if you want to. Obviously don't do it if you don't want to do it. But yeah, that's really, really game changing. Game changing. Wow, gosh, it's 5 to 12. How can it be 5 to 12? I hope everybody has a lovely afternoon. We are... kind of want to go for a walk. And then... where do I want to go? And then I want to do a bit of bedroom stuff. Anyone know best way to hang? Recommend where to get something to hang rugs. Best way to hang rugs off walls?
Pole.
Where'd you get the pole from?
A curtain pole, but then you need to put loops over the...
Oh, I tell you what we did when we hung a rug from a wall, and our rug was massive, which I got from Anthropology. We took our rug to our local dry cleaner who put these loops on the back of it, right? That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just attach these loops to the back of it. It's like 5 quid. And then we got a really thin curtain pole and then hung them on a bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 brackets. Really enjoyed the live today, thank you. Sorry you didn't comment about the red couch. Sorry, did you comment about... That's our own label, we no longer sell it. For renters, wallpaper can be applied on top of a clear removal vinyl. Yes, peel and stick. Also look at peel and stick wood. You can also do peel and stick wood. Lots of companies in the UK. There's an incredible company in America called Stickwood where you peel it off the wood veneer and clad it to your wall, and then you can easily remove it afterwards. Anyway, best way to hang recommended. Already got that. Where do you find manufacturers? Just takes years, I hate to say. There's no shortcut to it at all. We just literally found a sourcing agent in China. This was 100 of years ago, and then went round tons of factories and Some are good, some are bad. It just takes forever and a day. I've sat on your red couch. You have sat on my red couch. Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you have a really amazing day. And sorry if you've heard my growling stomach between the washing machine and my growling stomach. Super unprofessional. But see you next Sunday. Have an amazing week. Bye.